If you want to know how to identify an ash tree, just ask Paul Kate.
White ash is one of 3 species of ash that we have here in Vermont. White ash, green ash, and black ash. The ash trees have opposite branching, and even in a large ash tree, if you look up in the tree, you'll notice that same branching pattern in the whole tree.
This ash tree is located on Gallison Hill Road alongside U32 Midland High School. Kate serves on the East Montpelier Resilient Roads Committee along with Jeff Queto, the committee chair.
Well, we did inventory in 2019, 62 miles of road. About 2/3 of them are supporting ash trees along the roadside within the right-of-way. Just short of 2,500 ash trees that are 6-inch diameter and larger. The vast majority of them very healthy trees. So it's a little bit of a paradox because we started this committee to preserve roadside vegetation, especially trees, but we're immediately handed with the task by the select board to step ahead and look at removal of ash trees to eliminate that threat to our roads.
The threat to the ash trees in East Montpelier and Vermont is due to the emerald ash borer, or EAB. Native to Southeast Asia, EAB was first discovered in Michigan in 2002. Since then, EAB has been responsible for the destruction of tens of millions of ash trees in 30 states. The only cure is to have the ash trees taken down. EAB was first found in Vermont in 2018. East Montpelier has been spared so far.
It seems rather inevitable that EAB will be in East Montpelier if it isn't here already. We're sort of in the risk zone, if you will. Montpelier, Plainfield, Barrytown all have EAB. And so it could be here now. We haven't seen it. We put up some purple traps last year closer to Plainfield. Didn't find any EAB on the traps. Seeing as it seems inevitable, it's good to kind of get ahead of it.
The site near U32 was selected as a pilot project with 160 trees slated for removal. This effort would inform the committee on costs and, more importantly, engage residents about East Montpelier's proactive approach to combat EAB.
The 160 trees included the hedgerow along Gallison Hill here. The removal extended into 2 of the local neighborhood roads.
One thing that you find when you do this kind of thing is that people really love their trees. And they want to, if you're cutting trees down, they want to know what's the future.
Less than 10 miles east of U32, the impact of EAB is a much different story.
Joanne, where are we?
This is a roadside in Plainfield, Vermont, and
Joanne Garten works as a technical assistance coordinator for Vermont Urban and Community Forestry. She works with Vermont municipalities on mitigating the ash trees in their community.
Some municipalities are taking stock of what they have, literally getting out, walking the roads. Our program, Urban and Community Forestry program, helps municipalities do that. We have some training, we have some iPads and ways that you can sort of help note the location and the condition and the size of those trees. But it's been pretty important for some towns to begin to inventory what they have and start to make a plan for how they might like to be proactive or reactive to the emerald ash borer coming through.
The damage EAB has done in Plainfield is easy to see.
Not too far from where we're standing right now, we know that there are ash trees that are infested with emerald ash borer. We've seen white and black ash infested, and there's likely some green ash there too. Some of the trees along this stretch of road already we start to see that woodpecker flecking, that blonding up in the canopy of the tree. It's here and we're looking for it and hoping that municipalities can take stock of what's here and plan for a future without ash.
The Vermont Urban and Community Forestry Program offers financial assistance to towns as they plan for the inevitability of EAB.
The Vermont Urban and Community Forestry Program has been really fortunate over the past few years to apply for and receive funding from the U.S. Forest Service that we have earmarked as grant money for municipalities specifically who are looking to manage ash trees, inventory, perhaps take some down, and consider planting other trees, not necessarily right in the same place, but in important areas around their town.
The silver lining to the storm clouds hanging over Vermont's ash trees is a renewed focus on forests that are too often overlooked.
Roadside forests, they can be the forests that we see the most on our drive to and from work or town or school. And we don't think of them as being public places where you would sit and have a picnic or something. They are traveled right-of-ways, but they are managed by the municipality, and there is at times a reason for everyone in the community to have a voice and have an understanding of what's happening, understand what their road crew is doing to keep the roads safe and passable, but also manage this living, breathing forest that's all around your roadsides.
East Montpelier received a $15,000 grant from Vermont Urban and Community Forestry, which they matched in funds and in time from staff and volunteers. Queto and Kate consider the cost money well spent.
Having grown trees for 50-something years and looked after them, that all of a sudden I'm having to authorize taking down all kinds of trees, many of which are excellent looking trees. We're trying to make it into a positive thing as much as we can while we are doing the work of protecting the public safety.
Now that the ball is rolling, we have a very supportive select board in town, and we seem to have community support as well. And for the safety of the road crew, for the safety of the traveling public, for our aspirations for future roadside vegetation in terms of holistic management, it makes sense.
The emerald ash borer is here to stay. Vermont's ash trees may fade from the landscape, but the urban forest endures thanks to those who stand tall for Vermont's trees. In East Montpelier, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.